welcome to the final edition for this year of Wildcat Watch Live. I'm Catherine Boyarski.
I'm Matt McCarthy.
I'm Julia Carnese.
I'm Willie Annan.
So guys, as we wrap up this year on Wildcat Watch Live, does anyone have any memorable moments from this past season in Villanova sports?
I would say a great moment just happened recently when the men's lacrosse team got the number 2 seed for the Big East Conference tournament. It's really exciting for them, and they've become a really strong force to be reckoned with. So wish them the best of luck this upcoming weekend. And Willie, what's your favorite moment?
My favorite moment's definitely the 18-point comeback we had versus Providence in a basketball game. That was capped off with Javon Pinson's game-winning layup with 27 seconds left. The pavilion was raucous. It was definitely one of the best games to go to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to steal one from the men's basketball season as well. Early on in the season, when Darren Hilliard stole that inbounds play against LaSalle in the last few seconds, tied it up, sent it to OT, we ended up winning that game. So there for that game, one of the best games I've seen so far at Villanova. So it was one of my favorite moments this year.
For me, I'd have to say seeing Drake perform in Hoops Mania was one of my favorite moments of this year. So now over to Willie with men's and women's lacrosse highlights.
The 11th ranked men's lacrosse team faced the number 5 Notre Dame Fighting Irish on Saturday. It was a game that was filled with fireworks and excitement. Villanova jumped out to a 4-0 lead on the Irish, but was unable to hold on to it as they fell to the Irish 10-7. Notre Dame scored 8 unanswered goals to mount the amazing comeback. But fear not, Nova fans, this day was not filled with all bad news. Even with the loss, the men's lax team clinched the number 2 spot in the Big East tournament. The men's lacrosse team will face Syracuse on May 3rd right here at Villanova. And as for women's lacrosse, on Sunday the women's lacrosse team lost 20-9 in a slippery, rainy game versus Loyola. However, even in the losing effort, Villanova had 8 players score at least 1 goal. That's an amazing fact. The difference in this game was the 7-0 run that Loyola went on to close the first half of this game. Villanova will travel to Connecticut and Syracuse next weekend to conclude the regular season. And now to Julia with baseball and softball.
Thanks, Willie. This past weekend, the men's baseball team was victorious during their doubleheader against Seton Hall, winning 12-5 in their first conference series of the season. The momentum generated by an extra inning victory in the first game of a doubleheader carried over to the nightcap, and Villanova broke open a close game with 6 runs in the top of the 8th inning in a 12-5 win over Seton Hall. Earlier in the day, the Wildcats won the opener of the Twin Bill, 7-4, in 12 innings. Sophomore catcher John Cialone played a big part in the first game with a pinch hit double and then went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a run scored, and a run batted during the nightcap. Senior first baseman Adam Nelson came off the bench in both games to play key roles and finished the second game 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs and a run scored. A series win for the Wildcats was not only critical to the team's position in the conference standings, but was also just a reward for the team's play as of late. Villanova has shown improvement in each of its five Big East series this season, but it took until Saturday's doubleheader sweep for the results in the win column to match the Wildcats' quality of play on the field. Next, the baseball team will face Temple University and later head to Florida this weekend to play USF in a 3-game series. As for the Lady Wildcats, Villanova's softball team dropped in the finale to St. John's. The women's team fell behind and struggled to perform well at bat as they lost in the final game of the series 5-1. The Wildcats had 5 hits in the game and were led by freshman second baseman Brianna Fuji, who had a RBI double in the 7th inning. In a rematch the first game of the series, Ashley Biza and senior Caitlin Delahaba towed the mound for their teams, again looking to win the rubber match of the series, and both pitchers came out throwing well with 1, 2, 3 innings in the first. In the 7th, senior player Molly Mannon led off the inning with a single. After 2 quick outs, Fuji hit an RBI double to center field that scored freshman pinch runner Kara Pizzuti to trim the lead to 5-1. Senior pinch hitter Shannon O'Brien then came on to keep the game going, but she lined out to third base as St. John's had won the game in the series. The Lady Wildcats are currently playing a doublehead versus Georgetown and then will head down to Tampa to face the University of Southern Florida. Now to Matt with your track and field updates.
Thanks, Julia. This past week, the Villanova men's track and field team competed at the Widener Invitational. The day proved to be an overall success for the Wildcats, where they were able to capture 5 wins in the 9 events they entered. Freshman Brian Murphy, junior Nicole Hines, and sophomore Chris Fitzsimmons each won their respective running events, while Albert Maxwell and Matthew Sidney captured the long jump and high jump respectively. Brian Murphy won the 400-meter race with a near personal best time of 48.3 seconds. Hines won the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 51.75 seconds. Fitzsimmons won the 1,500-meter race with a time of 3 minutes and 51 seconds. The Wildcats will next be in action at the all-important Penn Relays, which begin tomorrow afternoon in Philadelphia. The Villanova women's track and field team also competed at the Widener Invitational this week and was able to keep pace with the men's team, capturing 6 wins in 8 events. Freshman Faith Dismuke won the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 1 minute flat. Freshman Qualisha Brown won the 200-meter race with a time of 25.2 seconds. Alexandra Wasik cleared a height of 3.87 meters to win the pole vault competition. Freshman Jamie Klein recorded her season-best javelin throw with a distance of 42.26 meters, which earned her the victory in the competition. Victoria Prophet won the high jump and triple jump for the Wildcats. Next up, the ladies will be joining the men's team at Penn Relays beginning tomorrow afternoon. Now over to Catherine, who has men and women's tennis and water polo.
Thanks, Matt. Villanova's men's tennis team began the week by taking the number 8 spot in the 2012 Big East Men's Tennis Championship. The Wildcats started off strong, winning the opening match of the tournament 4-1 against the number 9 seed Connecticut. Freshmen Tim Abachimento and Michael Rosengren broke a 1-1 tie in the doubles matches to give Villanova the advantage. Sophomore Tom O'Brien eventually clinched the win for the Wildcats with his come-from-behind victory in the number 1 singles match. With the tournament win in hand, the Wildcats looked to upset number 1 seed Notre Dame the following day. However, they would have no such luck, falling to the Fighting Irish 0-5. This marked the end of Villanova's 2012 men's tennis season with a record of 10-11. And now for women's tennis highlights. The women's tennis team also took the court this past week with matches against Temple, California, and Georgetown. This, however, would be an unsuccessful stretch of games for Villanova, as the Wildcats would lose by a score of 0-7 in each match. For water polo news, the Villanova water polo team finished off the final weekend of the regular season with a 4-game homestand. The Wildcats were on the cusp of reaching the MAAC conference tournament for the first time since 2007 and would need to have a strong showing in these final 4 games in order to do so. This would prove to be the case as Villanova won its final game of the season over Virginia Military Institute by a score of 10-3 to clinch the 4th and final spot in the conference tournament. The Wildcats hope to carry this momentum into the first round of the tournament, which will begin on April 28th, with Villanova taking on the number 1 seeded Iona Gales. We wish them the best of luck.
We'd like to thank you guys for watching. We'd like to thank you guys for a great year, and we hope to see you guys next year. And as always,
Stay Wildcats!